Today's Wednesday, May 7th, 2014, and you're tuned into the Elevator Radio Show. The Elevator Radio Show is a proud supporter of the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation. To find out how you can make a difference, visit their website today at www.eesf.org. Everybody got a good show for you today after 2 weeks, and so stay tuned. Here it comes.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds,
when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway?
Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you. All right, fixing a camera angle here. We seem so professional. Yeah, thank you, everybody. It is good to be here this Wednesday morning. I do apologize for not being here last Wednesday. I had every intention of doing the show, and I was kind of worried this morning that I was going to go through the same thing because my alarm went off, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not going to hit the snooze. I'm just going to lay there, and then I'm going to basically just get up in 5 minutes, and thank goodness I did because the snooze went off again, 10 minutes later. So anyway, it's good to be here this Wednesday morning where the weather is actually starting to warm up here in the Midwest, which is a nice change of pace. It's actually supposed to be 70 degrees today, 80 tomorrow, and then kind of drop back down to normal temperatures for this time of year here in Chicagoland area. But I don't want it too hot too soon. I'm sure tomorrow we will have a ton of people complaining about how hot it is and how it's just going to switch right into summer. So anyway, that's just the deal we have to, work with, and that is always, in my opinion, better than snow, although I know there are other people out there that would beg to differ, and those of you who are, have sleds and snowmobiles and enjoy the snowy weather, cold weather, which I do to some extent, it's time to winterize those machines, so keep that in mind. Anyway, we do got a good show today. We got 2 weeks worth of news articles to get through. A couple of them are very important to kind of cover and just reconfirm safety in general, and hopefully you'll share those with your colleagues, friends, enemies, lovers, whatever, customers, so that down the road, we're spreading the word on safety no matter where it's coming from. We're spreading that word, and the most important part of it is that when you have kids, make sure they're watched. Make sure they're not playing around on equipment that they shouldn't be. It could be anything for that matter. If they're, you're visiting somebody's house, they have a residential elevator, they have other equipment in the garage. You just got to be careful. You got to make sure that they understand that, shouldn't be messing with stuff that, they don't know what could do to them. And that doesn't really make sense. But anyway, so we're going to get into the news content in just a little bit. As always, send your email comments to elevatorradioshow@gmail.com, and I will respond as quickly as I possibly can. Those of you out there who are not getting the e-newsletter, I did check, and some of those are not going out either through the new method of updates through WordPress. So we'll see if we can't get that fixed in the upcoming week, and I apologize for that. So anyway, up next, we're getting right in the news. And as always, send your content or your opinions, your information over at elevatorradioshow@gmail.com.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
All right, hard to believe this is show number 365. If we were to have done a show each and every year, it would take us a year to get this to this point, but it's one a week. So you do the math, and we're continuing strong. And as long as there's content to report on, we'll keep the lights on, as the motel 6 sign or slogan says. So anyway, first news article of the program today. Real tragedy. When these happen here in the United States, it's never a good thing. And I'm going to play the video. And again, this is just the reason why.
Did you know Charter Internet is 10 times faster than...
Okay, I'm going to mute that. But anyway, yeah, it's just a terrible tragedy and accident that occurred here. We're going to play this in about 6 minutes. A 6-year-old boy was killed. Okay, here we go.
Well, today was the first day back to school after spring break for 500 students at a North Shore school. But when they got there, they learned one of their classmates would never be coming back. Meg Ferris has this touching story of a single father who faced tragedy while on vacation.
Well, come on, Ashton.
It has never been recorded before. Easter Sunday at the First Pentecostal Church of Bogalusa, children in the sanctuary waiting for the service to start. That's when kindergartner Ashton Thomas stood up and from memory recited the 23rd Psalm. The church video just happened to be on.
Of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me.
2 days later, Ashton was gone.
If I could have 2 seconds back, 2 seconds, that's all I need for an entire life with my son. 2 seconds is all I would need. That's how quick this happened.
Last Tuesday on spring break vacation at a camp near Slidell, Ashton suffered fatal head trauma caused by a service elevator.
He was probably only 6 or 7 feet away, and I still couldn't stop it in time, and I never had my eyes off of him. He still loves every one of you.
Today, with his parents and friends by his side, Ashton's father, Sergeant Mike Garrick of the Bogalusa Police Force, visited his son's classmates at Ben's Ford Christian School in Bogalusa. He had no idea the children decided to keep Ashton's desk in the classroom and to fill a comfort box with notes, rainbows, flowers, peace signs, and drawings of his favorite, trucks. Ashton could not wait for kindergarten graduation.
We're going to have his chair at the graduation ceremony. We'll probably have his picture there. I asked his dad, Mike, if he would come and accept his diploma for him.
Mike is overwhelmed with the community's support. Fire and police from around southeast Louisiana rode in the funeral procession. People have donated funds for expenses. Children tell the adults, don't cry, Ashton is happy in heaven.
I would give everything I ever had in this world to have him back.
Meg Ferris, Eyewitness News.
Ashton's father is starting a scholarship fund for the school. You can donate at any Citizen Savings Bank on the North Shore, or we have a link at WWLTV.com.
Yeah, that's a tragedy, unfortunately. So, anytime kids are involved in accidents, it's important to, I don't know, just take a step back and realize that life is fragile and it's just not good. So anyway, moving on. Elevator U agenda has been released. If you are on the fence or considering going, please do so. University of Nebraska is the host for the 2014 Elevator U conference, and the agenda has been posted if you want to see who's presenting. Again, for the vendors out there, the expo and the exhibition and conference is going to be on Wednesday, the 25th. So for more information, go to their website, elevatoru.org. Okay, a shopping center was evacuated after smoke was discovered coming from the escalator, and glad to hear this happened in Northampton in UK, but glad to hear nobody was hurt, so that's good. Always good to do those kind of drills so that everybody's prepared in the event of emergency. So, okay, doors open for Elevator Company, kind of a cool article talking in New York regarding GAL in terms of, actually, let me click this on. It's coming from Crane's New York Business. Doors open for Elevator Company. It's a cool shot of some door operated testing devices. But anyway, yeah, it's cool. It's a cool highlight on GAL, and the interesting statistics too. Really, it's a 98% of GAL share of the New York City component market, which I totally can believe. 30,000 number of parts in GAL's catalog and 44 years spent at the current location. So the reality of it is that this article is talking about the fact that when they proceed with the Major League Soccer franchise, there's a good chance that there'll be more work for them, obviously. And anytime there's construction or whatnot, that's good for us in the elevator industry. So anyway, pretty cool and a neat article, neat photo, and hats off to GAL for being singled out like that. So good job. Let's see here. The elevator adjuster, John, has got a bunch of new videos posted. I'm going to not go through the ad on that because I'm not sure how loud it's going to play, but John is an elevator adjuster or mechanic out in New York, and he's got some cool videos out there. Remember that the disclaimer is that you should not be working on elevator or escalator or any kind of equipment that you're not trained to do so, and you could get killed or seriously injured. So remember that when you're watching these videos, do not try to fix any of your elevator out there. If you are a end user, do not touch them. Okay, very key and important. Okay, Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation, the Chicago Cruise is right around the corner. Again, remember, this is an event that's typically held like third or fourth week in June, but in this case, it is the first week in June. It's a new boat, it's new food, it's going to be a great time. And space is limited, so get your registrations in today. Thank you to everybody who has stepped forward to buy tickets and sponsor. We greatly appreciate that. So it's going to be a great time. And I'm going to do my best to make sure the weather is semi-nice or as nice as it can be. Okay, the next news article, I didn't want to post a direct title link back, but lawyersandsettlements.com, and I hate posting these. I really do, because these are ambulance chasers in terms of accidents. But in Chicago, if you take a look, if you haven't seen the security video footage of the subway crashing into the escalators at the end of O'Hare Airport, here's the video. But apparently, this is an article talking about one of those that were injured in that accident is suing or filed a back and neck injury lawsuit against the operator of the transit line. This will be interesting because if the reality is if they are suing the person driving the escalator, the train, good luck trying to collect anything. That's the bottom line. You can sue for all you want. You can even get a judgment award, but at the end of the day, trying to collect is going to be something else. So I'm not quite sure why that was necessarily posted, but yeah, if you want to check out the video, it's pretty nuts to see that, and that has been reopened since. But I know there's still not the escalators, that is, but the train does go to O'Hare. But yeah, not good at all. Hopes of fixing museum's freight elevator is rising over Observer and Eccentric. A Gannett Company news source has an article talking about a bonus fundraising opportunity. Couldn't have come at a better time. But the Plymouth Historical Museum, the museum's freight elevator used to move large and heavy displays into the building between floors, failed about 2 months ago, and museum officials are trying to get it back in operation at a cost of about $100,000. So the elevator needs a new hydraulic jack. And it's expensive, bottom line. So they are looking to secure funding for that. It's too bad that our industry doesn't have a kind of a pro bono program. And I know some areas and some elevator associations do contribute in terms of those to families that are in need. But it'd be neat to see, down the road, see us as an industry. Actually, maybe not in this case, because you don't know the details in terms of who owns the elevator and all that good stuff. But anyway, it's for maybe more just causes, I guess I should say. It might be kind of cool to have that, some kind of foundation or whatnot. Okay, Chicago Elevator Association is a CEA May meeting recap. This is a meeting that I did make it to, although I was late, so I do apologize for that. But great time, great food. It was nice to see so many faces I haven't seen in quite a while. And Dottie, thank you for coming in and presenting on what's going on with NACE International. We greatly appreciate that. Photos are over on the website, and a quick little recap as well. Okay, talk about going above and beyond. Elevator World Unplugged blog has a has a real cool image of a guy in an elevator, basically on his hands and knees. I know it doesn't sound good. With an old lady sitting on his back like a bench. So hats off to this gentleman for basically turning his body into a bench. So this elderly woman who looks as if she could use a bench is using it. So maybe someday we'll find benches in elevators. If not, perhaps you can make yourself a bench. I thought that was pretty ingenious and pretty neat to see. Okay, Elevator Museum virtual tour. ElevatorWorldMagazine.com has a virtual tour. You can take a virtual tour of the Elevator Historical Society and Museum, Long Island, New York. Pat Curier, the curator of that. It's pretty cool to see this floor and just all the memorabilia. It's really slick. And to support them or become a member, go over to their website, and you can do so. So it's pretty cool images here. So it's really neat. Love the displays on what they've got. Some really cool plates and stations and books and memorabilia, and if there's one person that would know what it's all about, it would definitely be Pat. So I'm just looking through all the photos right now. Yeah, so much stuff. It's nice to know and nice to see that that Pat's got such an extensive collection. And it's basically opened it up to everybody. It's pretty cool. And I see there's a car switch right there. I don't know if that's an Otis or CJ. I think that's an Otis. Some other car switches. Cool stuff. Really cool stuff with some insert plates. Anyway, so thanks to Elevator World for highlighting that. Bill would set up state elevator inspection program. This is coming from SeattlePI.com. Although I don't quite understand why it's posted down below. But Baton Rouge, Louisiana, a proposal to create a statewide elevator inspection system for Louisiana started advancing Wednesday in the legislature, winning support from the Senate Commerce Committee. Louisiana doesn't require regular safety inspections of elevators, and while some municipalities have set their own regulations, most parishes are without rules for annual checkups to make sure elevators and escalators are working properly. I don't understand how this could happen. The bottom line is we need this. You need to make sure elevators and escalators are working properly, because if they're not, people are going to get hurt. I mean, that's just the bottom line. So, let's push that bill through. Let's make sure we're, everybody's, safe when riding equipment. And this is another link to that, a little bit more, not detailed necessarily, but this one says most people in Louisiana board an elevator without a second thought. The certification means that it's been inspected. It's safe, right? Not so much, according to the world's largest elevator manufacturers. Not so according to the world's largest elevator manufacturers. Louisiana is one of 5 states that doesn't require elevators to be inspected or maintained. Ugh. Anybody know what those other states are? Kind of scary to see that that's not a requirement. Although when you think about it, it's not like you've seen accidents in certain states. So, but I don't know. So, anyway, good article and good points in it to kind of take in. Yeah. Okay, the IAEC Denver recap. Doug at GL has a really nice recap on his and Mark's attendance at the conference. I hope everybody had a great time. I hope Sheila and everybody involved in running that has had a chance to rest and relax, and hopefully you've enjoyed. You've recovered from that. I know how hard that can be to really, kind of run one of those things. That's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, thanks, Doug, for kind of recapping your experience. Boy's hand trapped in escalator. Scotsman.com reporting that apparently a boy's hand trapped in an Edinburgh Primark escalator. This was not here in the United States, but still tragic. He was okay. But the reality is that worldwide we need a bigger reach in spreading the message about elevator and escalator safety, and it might be time to look at that and really expand on making sure that we're hitting the entire world as best we can in terms of an industry, rather than just singling out second graders. I mean, it's definitely, the world is changing. That's for sure. Next article is Tribune.com.pq. I've not heard something from like this before. But International New York Times, in conjunction with the Tribune, the Express Tribune, reporting that Apparently, in Karachi, an elderly woman died after she was stuck inside an elevator at a residential building in Clifton on Tuesday. The deceased woman was identified as Fatima, 65, resident of Shah Ruz colony. She used to work as a maid. Elevator was not working at the time, and she was stuck inside. He said, we were trying to ascertain whether or not it was a technical fault. The officer said that the management of the building has also been questioned, and they are conducting inquiry as well. You know what? I think the title of this is incorrect because I've never heard of a woman suffocating in a stall lift, and the fact that they've reported this is, I would say, irresponsible with not truly determining the results of the autopsy if one was actually produced. So, yeah, plenty of air to breathe, and shame on them for even mentioning the fact that they suffocated. Yeah, I mean, come on, talk about it. Something that's going to scare the riding public. Okay, Diesel Ducey's in the news again. Great article. That's not it. I'm going to go ahead and link the actual article that was posted. I apologize for that, Andrew. I'll make sure that is done. But it's nice to see the largest YouTube videographer and out there, getting his proper, props, I guess I should say, for all the hard work that he's done in creating his community. So I thought it was a nice piece and great job. Okay, the rest of the elevator story. This is a cool photograph. Blog.pe.com, or Press Enterprise, has a photo of Lyndon Johnson reportedly hollering going up when he visited the elevator he once worked in 1964. So Lyndon Johnson was an elevator operator. Isn't that cool? I don't know. You can call me a wimp or whatnot, but I watch Suffrage, or I don't know, that Channel 11 show on PBS, I should say, on Sunday nights with my wife. It's actually pretty good. Anyway, but they have it takes place back in the early 1900s, and they're basically in an apartment store, and it's cool because all the elevators have elevator operators in them, and I thought that was pretty neat. So there's no panels to be seen, but still cool to imagine what a department store was like back in the day. Okay, 2 were injured in an elevator in a Manhattan building, Flatiron. 2 people were hospitalized after being removed from an elevator shaft in a building in Manhattan Thursday. Man, what the hell are people doing in the frickin' elevator shaft? Not much really to report on that, but man, if they fell to the bottom after trying to get out of an elevator, with the doors open, man, remember, just stay in the elevator if you're stuck. I don't know all the details of it, but still, it's not much to report on. Here's a nice article from Gizmodo.com, one of my more enjoyable websites to go visit. And, these pop up every once in a while. Who invented the elevator? And,
Ghost.
Oh, boy. You can go check that out on your own. So, before the pop-up ad blasts your ears off. TE Connectivity and Schindler. This is a press release, a news release from MarketWatch, Wall Street Journal. Basically just talking about the TE Connectivity and Schindler Elevator Corporation power up new agreements with Verizon. And it's basically a press release that I'm assuming is intended to drive stock prices up. So, beep, beep. Anyway, you can read about that. Link is in the show notes. Anyway, okay. Broken Elevator sends jail into lockdown. KREM.com reporting that apparently Broken Elevator triggers weekly Spokane. Oh, I love the pop-up. Oh, hey, remember, Mother's Day is Sunday. As the flower advertisement pops up. Don't forget your moms out there. Okay, apparently Spokane, Washington, the Spokane jail went into lockdown on Tuesday after an ongoing elevator problem. The problem had been an issue for years, and things are getting worse. Officials said elevator breaks down up to twice a week on average. Jail goes into lockdown when the elevators break down. Apparently, officials said the elevators were old and overused. Well, I wonder if actually money is going to be put into that, considering that most states don't have a whole lot of funding for their, prison programs, I guess I should say. So, yeah, surprised that they go into lockdown because the elevator's broken. Okay, this is a good article. Remember that if you are drunk or if it is late or whatever, make sure you are trying to get into the correct door in your building, because apparently a South San Francisco man released after allegedly killing neighbor who exited elevator on wrong floor. And I don't mean to chuckle about that, but man, I don't know. This guy's in trouble, big time trouble. Man was arrested on suspicion of shooting and killing another man in a south of Market apartment building early Saturday morning. Was expected to be released from jail without charges Tuesday evening, according to a spokesman for the San Francisco District Attorney's Office. Apparently, the man exited the elevator on the wrong floor, tried to get into what he thought was his door, and was shot because of that. Oh, jeez. Not good. And the last news article of this week's program, show number 365, is New York City Police Department revises fire response protocol following officer's death, now prohibits cops from using elevators. So anyway, it's another article we talked about 2 weeks ago. Just more information on it. More importantly, why aren't they training everybody, both cops and firefighters, the correct fire, use of an elevator and fighting a fire in a building? I'm sure they're doing that, but why issue a memo? You know what I mean? You think they'd put some more training into effect, which I hope they did, other than a memo, to get that to spread the word. So anyway, and you could see the memo down there as well. So anyway, well, that's pretty. Oh, geez, I don't know what the heck that was. Anyway, so that's going to do it for the news for this week's program. We do have a $100 gift card to give away, which is pretty cool. So let me go ahead and go back to my random number generator. A random number generator. All right, random number generator. There we go. I enter the low number and the high number. I'm just looking at what that is. 840. Let me go back to the email list. 840. All right. The winner is Andy. Andy, it looks as if you are an elevator technician. Andy, you are the winner of our $100 Visa gift card and also some great goodies given away by a bunch of great companies. I'll contact you shortly, Andy. And Andy is from the Texas area, or Texas state, I guess you should say. That's more like a country. So anyway, well, that's going to do it for this week's program, everybody. As always, thank you for tuning into the show. It's great to be here. Share the stories that you think are important to share. And remember, be safe out there each and every day. All right, we'll see everybody next week. Think spring, and remember Mom on Sunday. Do not forget, or else you'll be in the doghouse for sure. So, all right, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.